Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sam LaRue and this is State of Elevate. In today's video, we're talking about how being more feminine can transform your life. Being feminine is life transformative. This is your superpower, ladies. So if you can simply harness that feminine, womanly energy, you're gonna win in life. Life will come easier for you. So we're gonna talk about that today. I'm gonna give you a few examples, and then I'm gonna give you some tips on ways you can start your feminine journey today. So what brought this whole conversation on is I was watching a podcast of Whitney Cummings. She's a comedian, and she had a few of her comedian friends on, and they were talking about dating, and she said something very peculiar. When she said this, I literally got chills. So let's watch the video and then I'll come back with my commentary.
A lot of the men that I talk to that are, into trans women, but they say like, well, trans women are the only women that will like be feminine now because straight women, straight cis women, we dress like fucking dudes. Like we're like, just like slobs, but like we're equal and we're just gonna be slobs and whatever.
I've heard this before. I have to say I totally 100% agree with what she said about men wanting femininity and craving it so much that they're willing to go to trans women to get it. So many women have sat back and rested in their masculinity, and that's not attractive to men. Heterosexual men are not turned on by manly behavior, right? A good example of this would be if you met a guy, right? He looks great. He looks like your ideal vision of a guy, right? You start talking to him on the phone and he's like, girl, yeah, girl, tell me more. Ooh, girl, yeah. You're gonna be like, he was handsome, love the look, 6 foot tall, dark and handsome, love that for me, but unfortunately, you're gonna be like, I'm totally turned off. I don't care how cute he is, I'm turned off. Just like you're gonna be turned off by that behavior, men are turned off by you acting like a man. It's a physiological turnoff. So when you act masculine, then you're turning him off without even knowing it. When you're bossy, when you're nagging him all the time, when you always want to lead, when you always have a comeback and you always are snappy, or when you're super competitive, all these things are masculine traits. And all of that is just turning him off to you subconsciously. So if you like heterosexual men, the best thing to do is to rest in your femininity. That's gonna get you the biggest bang for your buck. That's gonna get you all the goodies. Feminine women get more because in a man's eyes, he's thinking, I have to protect her. I have to nourish her. So I'm going to do more for her. If you act independent, if you're always arguing with him and you know everything, you're Mrs. Know-it-all, then he's gonna be turned off and he's not gonna wanna help you. He's gonna be thinking in his mind like, well, she knows it all. She knows everything, let her fix it. If you're acting masculine, he's going to be turned off. That's the natural order of life. It's the fact that this is this feminine energy that I have to help. They need me. I'm saving the day by coming in and helping the situation, by solving the problem, by being the savior. And so that's where men thrive. Feminine energy draws in masculinity. Feminine energy draws like a magnet, masculine energy. And this is why women that are feminine are always successful. They're always successful in the workplace, in their love lives, throughout society, because they've learned that art of being feminine and using their feminine energy to succeed. I think I talked about this in another video, but I literally got a job offer off of just being feminine. Like I walked into a shoe store, DSW, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I walked into a DSW and I was dressed nice because I was on my way to work and I had stopped off real quick to grab a pair of shoes, and I literally got a job offer for a management position based on me being feminine. I said like 5 words to the manager. Like literally, I handed her a pair of shoes and I was like, I have to go to work. Do you mind holding this? And she was like, oh, sure. She held it at the front, but she put a little note, and the note was like, we're looking for managers, and I think you'd be great for the position. Let me know if you're interested. I'm not even sure if you're in the market for a job, but we would love to have you here. I was highly impressed with you. And I'm thinking, did I interview for the job? I mean, I just handed her the shoes. The manager, she was a woman, but she was in her masculine. She was trying to hire someone, right? She's a leader, and she was offering me a position based off of me just being feminine. I drew her to me. I'm drawing in that protector, provider. She wanted to provide a job for me. So it's not just relationships where you can utilize your feminine energy. So now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So we've established being feminine is the key to your success in life as a woman. This is our superpower. This is what makes us stand out. This is what draws masculine energy, which masculine energy is provider energy, right? Masculine energy is protector energy. So you're drawing in providers and protectors. It could be a man, it could be a woman. So let's get into some ways that we can actually become more feminine. The first thing that I would suggest is remember Mildred the maid. So Mildred the maid was a maid for Arnold Schwarzenegger and his wife, Maria. She had been the family maid for a while. What ended up happening is she had a son. And Maria got a little suspicious. Got a little inquisitive because she's like, Mildred's son looks very similar to somebody that I know. Somebody that I'm close with. I don't know. He looks a little familiar. Come to find out, Mildred the maid was sleeping with Arnold and they had a whole entire baby. Like a whole entire baby, right? The fascinating part about Mildred the maid is she is not conventionally attractive. Like when we think of who Arnold, a multi-millionaire married to a Kennedy, who he would cheat on his beautiful supermodel type wife, it would not be Mildred the maid. It would not be a conventionally unattractive woman. You wouldn't typically think of a conventionally overweight woman, right? By society standards. So she had kind of 2 strikes against her. Not anything you would think of as far as someone that Arnold, this big mega superstar who's handsome, in his prime, nationally known, mega superstar, 12-pack ripped body, not someone you would think that he would date, right? So it makes you think, why would Arnold risk millions of dollars, risk breaking up his family, ruining his career in politics, all for Mildred the maid? Why would he do that? Why would Arnold do that? Mildred perfected the art of being feminine. And how do we know this, right? We weren't in the bedroom. There were no cameras, but we can only assume that because Mildred has a very feminine job. Service jobs are extremely feminine. It's very nurturing. It's very caring. It's very feminine. So Mildred played the role that Arnold wanted, was craving. Even though she's not attractive, she was still able to enthrall Arnold Schwarzenegger by being feminine. We know she wasn't running around the house acting masculine, like, Arnold, you better put your shoes over there. What you doing? Put them shoes over there. You know by Mildred's demeanor, and she's done numerous interviews, she's very meek, she's very quiet, she's subservient, and that's what Arnold was craving. So this is a great example because it goes to show men will be attracted to you just for the fact that you're feminine. You don't even have to do all the bells and whistles and be a supermodel. You don't have to be this perfect Barbie doll. You can be an average looking woman. You can be below average. You can be a man. Dang it. You could just be a man for all that matters. All you have to do is tap into your feminine energy. That's where it begins. Now, I'm not saying looks don't play a part because as we know, we're in society, looks play a part. So first, you want to tackle being feminine internally, okay? That internal, you want to exude being feminine. It's undeniable. It's no one's questioning it. They know you're feminine. I could literally wear sweats, go out to the grocery store, and people know I'm feminine. There's no doubt. There's no question. They know by the way I walk. They know by my smile. They know by my eye contact. Before even talking to me, they know I'm feminine. So they know I am feminine by the way I act. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to give you a few techniques on how you can start being more feminine today. I'll have another video that I'll do pretty soon, and we'll go over the look of being more feminine. But today, we're tackling the most important part, which is this. So first and foremost, I think especially if you're a masculine woman, you have to get over the independent woman trope. I'm independent, hear me roar. Right, you gotta get over that. And now you want to depend, okay? You have to get in the mindset, I want to depend on people. Not just men, women, family, whoever it is, coworkers. I'm gonna start depending on their help. So once you start getting into that mindset of, I want people around me that I can depend on. I want people around me that they want to help me. And they don't think, oh, she's the strong one, we're not gonna call her, or she's the strong one, we're not gonna help her, she doesn't need our help. So this is the driving force, is you're no longer thinking I'm the independent woman, I'm not gonna call anyone for help, I'm gonna keep everything bottled inside, I'm gonna be that strong woman and hold it all in with my strong self. Instead of doing that, now you're thinking more so, I want helpful people around me. I want people to help me. I want to help mate. So start coming from a place of encouraging help in your mind, right? And you're going to do this by asking people for advice. Okay, that's where we're starting slow. We're just going to ask people for advice. So if you're a strong independent type, you're probably like, I don't really ask people for stuff. I don't ask people for help. I rest in my masculinity and I figured it out on my own. But now we're gonna start asking people's opinions. Psychologically, you're getting people to start to think like, oh, she cares about what I think. They start to feel almost like grateful that you're asking them for help, or they feel like, oh, my opinion matters to her. So you start getting people around you in that mindset of, she's asking for my help and advice, so I must help her. I must be that masculine energy, right? Whether it's a man or woman, because if they're giving you their opinion, if they're leading you to what you should do, they're being masculine. You're being feminine by saying, I don't know which colors to pick. What do you think? So you're starting to be more feminine. You're starting to rest in your femininity and letting people be masculine around you. Let me preface it, because now you're not going to ask them on important things like, should I divorce my husband? Isn't something you probably want to say, I don't know, should I? Just on little minute things that really doesn't matter, but you make it a big deal to them, right? It doesn't really matter what color you're gonna pick for your garage, but you want them to feel important. They start to get out of that mode of, she got it, she's strong and independent, she can do it. And they start getting into the mode of, well, let me help her, she's gonna need my help. She needed my help on the paint colors, she needed my help on what pie to bring to Thanksgiving, she's gonna need my help moving. So then when it comes to bigger things in your life, they're gonna start to want to help you. So it just makes people around you more apt to want to help. And this also works with men. So when you're dating men, it's important, you're gonna wanna ask them their opinion on things. And that way, you're able to get him to help you without you even asking for help, because you're leading him to want to help you. If he's an alpha man, he's gonna wanna help you. By asking him questions on what he thinks, what he feels, what should you do, you're leading him down the path of him just spontaneously wanting to help you, right? People want to help you more when they suggest the help. When you suggest the help, like, hey, can you help me move? People are like, well, I gotta do this and I don't know. I'll check my schedule. I'm not sure. I'm busy that day. Well, I didn't say what day though. Okay. But when they suggest the help, when you're saying, oh, I just don't know. I don't know if he's getting over on me, or I don't know. And he's like, well, let me come with you. Boom. He's offered his help. And that's what people do when you rest in your femininity. That's what people do. They want to help the feminine woman. So another thing you want to do is listen. Okay, so I know this is hard, especially if you're an alpha woman. We're used to talking, right? We're used to talking. We're used to being very flamboyant and being like, hey guys, how's it going today? Do. But now, being feminine, you have to listen. You have to sit back and be like, You're listening. Basically, you're taking intel. You're listening so that way you're able to utilize the information that they're giving you. This helps you weed out the dusties when you're dating. This is a great tool to have, but it's also great if you're in sales. It's great in corporate America. It's great in every avenue because you're listening and you're not just rambling off at the mouth. This also helps you come across more feminine. Masculinity is talking. Masculinity is like, it's talking, it's tap dancing around, I'm talking, I'm showboating, I'm letting everybody know I'm the man in the room, look at me, I'm the man. Femininity is quiet, it's soft, right? It's soft, it's caring, it's sensitive, it's not showboating around, okay? So you want to start listening, you want to get intel, listen, put two and two together. This helps you in your dating life when you start listening more, because a lot of times men give you the signs. It's just about you listening. So listening is going to be important, and you're going to come off looking more feminine if you do listen. Next, you want to talk slow. And so this whole time I've been talking relatively fast, right? But if there was a man here, if there's a big, strong man, I'm going to talk slower. I'm going to be more intuitive, like, I'm not going to be la ra ra da da ra ra ra. You're going to talk slow. You'll notice most seductress, they talk slow. This lets the person like linger on every word. They can't wait to hear more. They're just like, and then what? And then what? You're letting them digest what you're saying. You're not talking as much as you would normally. You're talking slower and less. Listening more, talking less. And then when you do talk, slow it down a little bit. Oh, how was your day today? Oh, really? You know how some people like hum when they talk, like, oh, really? Did you really? Very feminine. What I would suggest, if you're starting this journey of being more feminine, I would highly suggest that you journal. When you journal, I would put down these 3 important questions. This is going to get the wheels turning. This is going to get your strategy going on how to go about being more feminine. And this is going to hone in your main purpose. So ask yourself, what does it mean to be a woman? What makes you different from a man? And what does your feminine journey look like for you? So 3 important questions I feel like will really propel your femininity journey. Also, I wanted to mention I do have a lot of great information on my website. So don't be scared. Check out my website. It has a lot of great free material and paid material depending on your stage. If you're a beginner, you can start with the free material. If you are ready to go and you're really serious, I have some paid courses that really will jumpstart your whole journey, like jumpstart it tenfold. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out my website, stateofelevate.com. And until next time, I'll see you beautiful, sexy, feminine ladies later. Bye.
And it goes a little something like